What's up, guys? And so with the Hollywood strike that's going down right now between the actors and the writers, and even like with the VFX workers in this industry, especially with the Marvel studios that have come out and like say that they're underpaid, and even with the working conditions at Marvel studios of how they were treated harshly by the studios themselves, even putting all that hard work into the film and TV, and they all love it so much. And now this is breaking since yesterday that apparently with the VFX workers, over 50 of them from Marvel Studios have a petition to go ahead to unionize and to election to get represented. And this is like a big deal, and like, even for what's about to happen next, even with these VFX workers that have been treated poorly and want better working conditions as well. And so I also do it for you guys in this video, and I'm breaking all down and like to the top of what's gonna happen next, especially in this industry, even though with the strike as it's going down, and even though with the future of the VFX workers and for Marvel Studios as well. And so if you're new here, hey, like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so don't miss out on videos like this. And so let's get to it. And now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that with this article that is coming from Vulture that stated with over 50 of VFX workers from Marvel Studios and that voted to unionize and demand recognition from the studio. And even though what this means is that they'll finally get a recognition, and even with that have like a better working conditions and a higher pay. And like even as we look at all the film and TV that was released from the MCU and Marvel Studios, and even though with the Russia final product, and even though with these VFX workers that were treated harshly from the studio and having underpaid working conditions, and even though with all as a bigger budget that Marvel Studios puts into their products, and even though with the VFX workers are like rushed to deadlines and like so much more, and even with all the fulfillment TV that we've gotten from over the years. And now, especially with the statement that's coming from a real VFX supervisor, has come out and said this in quote: "For almost half a century, workers in the visual effects industry have been denied the same protections and benefits that the co-workers and crewmates have relied upon since the beginning of the Hollywood film industry." And now, especially for this reason, that even though with the VFX workers that are coming together and like demanding recognition from the studio and having like denied like the same protection and with the pay, and even though with these workers that are underpaid since the beginning of the Hollywood film industry, and it'll be the first time with these VFX workers that are coming together and like demanding recognition, because even though with these people that really deserve better. And now, even with other VFX workers that are coming out and like they're using their voice to demand a recognition from Marvel Studios, especially in this union election, and that I approve, and even though with these VFX workers, I deserve a better pay and working conditions, and even like with these people that suffer like too long with underpaid and being treated harshly from the studio themselves, and even like rushing the final product and like give it to us in like a bad way. And like, even so, as we look at the future of Marvel Studios as we know it, like they've laid off so many workers, and like including for making changes and improvements. Like even with these VFX workers that put so much hard work and they're using the voice, even with these VFX workers, they deserve better, especially in this industry. And like even as we look at the future of Marvel Studios as we know it, and with like film and TV, and with these VFX workers and they're now rushing to like get these products out to us, the fans, and even as we look at them, and either like rush, and even with the films that we all know and love, and like Marvel Studios puts like a big budget on these films, they end up taking at the box office, especially with these VFX workers that are meeting the deadlines to get these done on time, and like even though with the Marvel Studios put out like too much product, especially for like so much quantity, and instead of focusing on the quality of it, especially with Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, that has come out and say that they're going to spend a lot less money on these IPs, especially for Marvel and Star Wars as well, especially with these big name IPs as well. Even as we look at some of the products that Marvel Studios has put out that end up going through reshoots, and even with the VFX workers that have harsher working conditions of getting this done before they move on to the next scene to get this the thing on time and meeting its certain deadline, and even as we look at the big bunch of Marvel Studios products that put out that end up being stinkers, even though winners as well, and even though some may be winners at the box office, and sometimes with the ones that flopped as well, especially with winners that deserve better, especially with the products that we got from Marvel Studios. And if you guys recall from last year, is that we VFX workers that have spoken now about harsh working conditions through their chairs as well, and started yelling especially with leaving work not satisfied, and you even saw that with these workers they deserve better, and especially for what's next for the future of this industry, especially with the Hollywood strike that's going down right now, especially with these actors and writers that they deserve better, and deserve a better pay and better working conditions, especially with the studios that are treating the people poorly, and even with that. So I fully support these VFX workers at their demanding a recognition, especially from the studio. And even as we look at the current slate of the MCU, especially with these products that are announced with the release that end up getting delayed, especially with these VFX workers that now have to rush the final product even before its deadline, and that they're not given much time, and these people deserve a better working conditions and a better pay as well, and even at something the people obviously like I said, they deserve better. And even with all the stickers that we got from Marvel Studios from over the past 2 years, and even at plus I love everything from Phase 5. I love the Guardians of Volume 3, and even with some other stickers that got, I think with these VFX workers and the people in this industry, deserve better, especially from all of the last things that we got from Marvel Studios from over the years. And yeah, so with my final thoughts on this, I think that the VFX workers and the people in this industry that deserve better, and even other voices that deserve to be heard, and they deserve to be recognized by the studio, and to get a better working conditions and better pay, especially with this election has taken place on August 21st, so that way they get a better pay and a better working conditions, especially so that they can, instead of being treated poorly and harshly by the studio, rushing the final product before its release date as well, and so even with this Hollywood strike as is going on and with everything in this industry, I think these people deserve better, especially with the VFX workers that put so much time and effort into the film and TV that I love so much as well. And so that is going to be a purpose video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Know what thoughts on all this, and even with the VFX workers that have come out and demand recognition from Marvel Studios and what's happening next in this industry. Let know in the comments below. Give this video a like and subscribe and turn on notifications about future videos, and also follow my socials which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.